knew someone long ago. She wasn't there and then she was. That lightning hit the ground without warning. She would laugh, I would laugh. Somehow that sound became clear. Day turned into night, and night to morning.
Just getting set up here. We've got to arrange a few things. We're working on it.
Something she forgot. Maybe take me for a ride. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I knew someone long ago, although it feels like yesterday. She would look me in the eye and say whatever. I knew this kind of mood, it looks too full to come back down. I've seen a couple suns that set forever. She ever comes back around,
Just getting set up.
just to slam an open door. Or to lay her hand in mine. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise. I knew someone long ago, whether I wanted to or not. We never said goodbye, that I remember.
Just getting a couple finishing touches on the setup process here, and I'll be right with you guys.
She never knew
I'm a little early.
how much she made and left behind. I never knew how much I had to surrender. She ever comes back around to see if I'm still so. Or just make me feel alive. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise anymore. I don't get taken by surprise. I don't get taken by surprise. I don't get taken by surprise.
Alrighty. Welcome everyone to our Thirsty Thursday live stream. I guess that's what I'm going to call it for now. It's a little bit early. I got a couple of minutes here before the stream gets really underway. But I hope everybody's having an awesome day. We've got our friend the Matriarch here. We've got some. It's pretty fresh. I should preface by saying it's pretty fresh off the printer. So we've got a little bit of prep work to do. Getting some of these little supports off of there in the legs with some light sanding. But it shouldn't take much. And this is good for you guys to learn, anyways. For those of you who are just new to the 3D printing world or the hobby in general. So I'm going to kind of take you guys through that today in what I do to prep my models before I paint them. And we should have time to get into get into some painting today. So that'll be nice. Most of these parts, with the exception of these three pieces, were all printed solid. So I don't have drain holes. These are drain holes here. I don't have a lot of drain holes to cover and prep. So we should be able to get to it pretty quick. And of course, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat. I've got my monitor right over here, as I call it. That's my iPad, my trusty iPad that I use to answer questions and engage with you guys in the chat. And of course, if you just want to bullshit, that's fine. My channel is NSFW for the most part, as far as language is concerned. So if you have little ones with sensitive ears and things like that, you can either stuff some cotton in them or tell them to get the fuck out of the room. So that's my disclaimer. I also smoke, which is not a great habit, but I do, and yeah, so there's that as well. I don't want to pass my bad habits or my language on to your kids. So yeah, just fair warning. I think that's all I have to say about that. Oh, also, please leave a like in the, leave a like, smash the like button, as a lot of YouTubers like to say. I really appreciate you hitting that like button, and the algorithm appreciates hitting the like button. I am slowly growing this channel. I tell everybody the same thing. I thought I'd be lucky when I started this channel. I thought I'd be lucky to have 10 subscribers, and here I am creeping on 600 subscribers. So from the bottom of my heart, I really, really, really appreciate you guys. I love you, and really thank you immensely for the support and love that I get from y'all. It's amazing. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, for real. And I can't thank you guys enough, and tell you how much I appreciate you all from around the world. We here at the 3D Painter appreciate every language and every culture and every skin color there is to imagine. I don't care if you're green. I love you. Just be a good person. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. And I don't think that's a lot. I really don't. So anyhow, let's get into it here. We're going to start by getting some of these supports off. So when you 3D print, if you're new to it, when you're 3D printing, obviously you can't print in midair. Like, let's pretend this is the printer bed. You've got to support things that are just hanging. And that's where these little dudes right here come in. You can see those little guys. And when you take things off the printer, sometimes it's necessary to cruise around the model parts and get those out, break them off, sand them off, cut them off. They got to go. So we're going to try to move through this model pretty quickly, getting these little supports removed best we can without breaking anything or fucking up the model. And I always miss a few. There's always a couple that you just miss or don't see until you start putting primer down, getting it ready for paint. And when you find those, you got to go back in and break them off. Now, some of you might ask, where did I get the STL or the stereolithography file for this model? And that's a great question. I got it on Cults, which is a 3D file website, and this model was sculpted by a new artist. Well, he's new to me. I left a link in the description for his page on Cults 3D. He goes by Jack 3D, and the dude does some really, really good work. I'm actually very impressed with his sculpture works. This being the second or third model I've printed of his. I've printed all Arc Raiders stuff. His Arc Raiders models are great. I'm really impressed with them. But he also does some automatons. He's got some Star Wars stuff on his page. Doom, Fallout. He's got some really killer dragons, Elden Ring, a bunch of different stuff you might be interested in. So definitely look at the description if you're interested in printing some stuff in that genre. You can go to his page and probably find something pretty cool to check out. I also offer, if you don't have a 3D printer, I also offer my services in printing. So if you find a model you like, I don't give out STLs for free. I don't print for free. And I'm all about supporting artists. So show that guy's page some love. And if you download the file or even just donate to his page, you know, whatever needs to happen. But either way, give the guy some love. Show, you know, pay for the files, and we can arrange my printing services to get that printed for you, and I will ship it out to you as long as you pay for the resin and some of my time and the shipping. I can send you a model like this, and you can prep it and paint it yourself at home and do it. All right, so I'm pretty set. Oh, nope, I found some more supports I need to get out of here. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Really, really appreciate you. Need some compressed air here to blow this out. There we go. All right, that leg's done. Let's get on to the next one. So this, I should say first, I decided to take a little break from working on Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga, which I can show you guys in a little bit here. It's a very, 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 very intimidating and time-consuming model. And as an artist, As a hobbyist, whatever I don't really like calling myself an artist. I'm more of a hobbyist. I reserve the term artist for people like Michelangelo, Leonardo, all the Ninja Turtles. Um, I just have a lot of hobbies and interests, um, and this happens to be one of them. But fuck, I forgot where I was going with that. I know it was kind of important. Oh yeah, as I was saying, sorry, my ADD just like woo butterfly. Um, I I had sometimes it's good to just step away for a minute and evaluate. Look over the project. Especially the really time consuming projects that are large or small that are daunting, and sometimes you just got to step away for a minute and take a break. Just like anything else. Um, so today I decided to kind of take a break from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Boga, which is it's hard for me to do. I really want to work on it, but I also have to recognize my own boundaries, my personal boundaries with myself, in that when I'm feeling tired of something, that my inspiration to work on it uh, tends to get a little dull, and you get tired of working on shit all the time, the same thing, and so you need to change a pace, you need to change up your view, um, and I decided to work on something that is related to a video game that I'm having way too much fun with this fucking video game. It's called Arc Raiders, ARC Raiders. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, kind of. But the Arc, the ARC, those dudes, those are the bad guys in the game. This is a bad guy. The Matriarch is not your friend in the game. In the video game, I would say she's like 50, 70 feet tall. I don't know if the game developers have like really given the scale specs on her size, but she's really intimidating and scary, and really fun to kill, and you get some really cool goop or loot, as it's called, in the game from her. It's a lot of fun. It's a third-person perspective extraction shooter, um, created and developed by a company called Embark. Uh, I am not sponsored by Embark. I'm not sponsored by Jack 3D. Hey, what's up, Jerry? Welcome, 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 my friend. And anybody else in the chat watching, please introduce yourself. Say hi. Love to hear from you. Love to see who's in the chat today. If you're watching from another country, tell me where you're from. I'd love to hear it. Jerry's one of our regulars here at the 3D Painter. He's also a fellow 3D printer and painter. He does some great work. And he's a good friend. Love seeing you, buddy. Jerry and I have never met in person per se, but we've become friends over the time I've been doing this channel, and he's become a subscriber. Just about done with this leg here, I think. All that stuff about Arc Raiders being said, I'm not sponsored, yada yada. I highly recommend it if you have Xbox, or if you're a PC player and you kind of like the third-person extraction shooters like GTA or Fallout. I can't recommend this game enough. I'm embarrassed to even say how many hours I've spent playing this video game. It's so fucking addictive. Got to go to father-in-law's for dinner. Hopefully they're cooking. Awesome. I appreciate you dropping in for the time that you can, dude. Always appreciate your time and your company, Jerry. Thank you, buddy. Just don't forget to smash that like button, buddy. I sent Jen a link, but she may be working or something, or she's taking care of her parents. Not sure. She'll probably drop in eventually. You're amazing, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. So yeah, in the video game, uh, how do I put it? It's the future, and it's on Earth, and these mysterious machines started dropping out of the sky and essentially killing everybody. Well, what happened first was, according to the lore, the environment of the planet started taking a serious shit. Either by, I'm not really clear on how it happened yet. I don't know if anybody is. I think they're still developing the lore and introducing new bits as we go along in gameplay. But the environment started taking a shit first. And at some point, mankind kind of just gave up on trying to save the planet, trying to save themselves from living on the planet. And there was some kind of an exodus that took place. We built really big rockets and ships to get off the planet and go somewhere else. We don't know where the somewhere else is now yet. We don't know how, if the humans even made it. We don't know. But the people that were left behind or didn't go off-world were basically forced to go underground. And at some point, these giant and small machines started dropping out of orbit onto the planet's surface to terrorize and kill all the human beings left behind, which further drove mankind underground into little communities. And the particular community that your character is from in the game is called Speranza. And you are what they call a raider. And so what you do is you get inside this cart, for lack of a better way to put it. You get inside a cart that is inside this tube, and this thing shoots you up to the surface, or topside as it's called. You go up topside, and you basically, your job as a raider is to, yeah, I think that leg's pretty much done. It's looking pretty good. We're basically just getting everything ready for primer right now. And so you go topside, and your job as a raider, as an arc raider, is to basically cruise around topside and find things, or, you know, machine parts, electronical components. You're basically finding things to bring back to Speranza with you to help better society's new growth, and also to help make new weapons to combat the Ark. It's a pretty cool lore. I'm enjoying the lore and the story in general, and the gameplay is just seriously addicting. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys. Hopefully, my wife isn't watching. Well, she knows because she's living it with me. But I've got over 300 hours on this game already, which is stupid, ridiculous. Days where I'm in a lot of pain and not really feeling like doing much or coming down here to paint, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I want to paint every day, but I just can't sometimes. Um, I sit and play that game, and anyhow, it's really good. It's really addicting. It's really fun. You can play with up to two other people during a raid, or you can play solo. I tend to like to play solo a lot. You can play. So the game is a PvPvE game. So you can player versus player. You know, you can go out and try to kill other raiders and take their loot, take their goop. Or you can be a nice guy like me. I like to help other people. I think that's more fun. Occasionally, you are forced to. Well, I shouldn't say forced. Occasionally, you are forced to make a decision as to whether or not you want to kill someone else, or you have to kill someone else, or if you want to just be super passive and they're just gonna fucking kill you. You're gonna die, and they're gonna take all your loot that you spent time collecting, and you lose your guns and stuff like that, and then you got to start over again. After a while, if you played enough like me, you've got enough. You've got the economy figured out in the game. You've got enough parts and stuff to make all the guns you need. So anytime you die, you just put together a new loadout. It's pretty straightforward, sort of. Anyways, the game is a fucking blast to play. Is my whole point. I absolutely love it. I think Embark is doing a fantastic job. Again, I'm not sponsored by Embark, but Embark, if you guys are watching or listening, and you want to sponsor more videos for me to print some of your stuff and paint it, let me know, guys. That'd be awesome. Again, I'm not paid for this. I used my own money to pay the artist to download these files, and I printed and I'm painting these guys strictly at my own volition. For my personal pleasure and enjoyment and yours. That's what we're doing this for. All right. I think, well, a little bit more here. Good enough. All right, that leg's done. Two more to go. Getting down to where we can actually start putting some primer down. I'm probably going to wind up just like blow drying the primer so I can get right into putting some color in. So for the most part, this model is going to move pretty quickly compared to a lot of other ones. And this is just like a side project. I'm not being commissioned, or anything like that. If when I'm finished with this model, if you'd like to purchase it, you can message me at the3dpainter@gmail.com, and we can discuss pricing and shipping and all that stuff. Otherwise, I'm just doing something for fun. But all my models are for sale. All my statues. Um, I do sell everything. Damn, about stabbed myself in the finger there. Don't try that at home, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. Otherwise, you might get hurt. Yeah, which is also kind of a disclaimer. I do things on this channel sometimes that can and will get me hurt or have gotten me hurt. So if you fucking hurt yourself doing something you saw me do on my channel, that's your own fucking fault. It's not mine. So just real quick, these bits are, it's like a soft bit that I get on Amazon. You can take a screenshot right there if you want and do a image search on Amazon and you can find these bits. They're extremely cheap. I think I got like, I think it was like $10, maybe $10 for a box of like 50 of them. And they come with different grades, you know, from coarse to fine. And these little bits are fantastic for removing support bumps and just overall kind of quick finishing. You know, if you have like islands or anything in, you know, that show up on your print, these will take those right down. And there I'm just using a little bit of compressed air to blow out those broken supports that are stuck inside of the leg. And I'm just kind of giving it a look over and checking it in some different angles so that I can see where it needs some sanding. My Dremel tool I'm using here does have a foot pedal operation on it. So if you use a Dremel frequently or have to use one as often as I do when I'm doing this, I highly recommend getting a foot pedal. They're about 20 bucks on Amazon and it'll change your life. Absolutely change your life. Instead of having to reach for the switch every time, you just hit the pedal, give it some gas. I love it. So for this model in particular, I don't really care if it's a little chingered up, you know, if it's got some scratches and dents in it. I want her to look a little distressed. I want her to look like she's taken a few rounds, which we will be adding some details like that. Some bullet holes and stuff. JD Miller, anybody call dibs on the Matriarch core? You know, I haven't printed a core yet, but I guarantee if I offered one up for sale, and welcome to the channel, JD. I appreciate you being here, man. Now, if anybody wants me to print a core for him, I'm sure Jack 3D, he might have one up for sale as far as a 3D file goes. And then you and your friends can fight for the core all you want. Maybe even get ratted afterwards. So in the game, a rat is someone who's basically lying in wait. I fucking hate those guys. They just basically lie in wait when you got your back turned and you got the coolest loot. You got your favorite loadout, your favorite gun, your favorite shield. You got some awesome goop in your pocket, and this motherfucker jumps out of nowhere and shoots you in the back of the head, not the front of the head. They never face you because they're cowards. Um, but they'll shoot you and take your shit, and it sometimes it's heartbreaking. But the way you got to look at it in the game is all that stuff that you're using is just it's just your turn to use. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna make it again. Um, it's really up to that's really the way to keep yourself from feeling heartbroken about it. It's just kind of realize that it was your turn to use it and lose it in some cases, or in most cases, you're going to lose it eventually. So you can't play in fear. All I see is loot. I know, right? You want to drop these legs off right now. Hole cracker. Drops off. You see all the little cockroaches run in to grab the little leg parts. So these little leg segments in the game, you can knock these off. And yeah, JD knows. Yeah, you can knock these leg segments off. And, you know, if you're the guy shooting these leg segments off with your hole cracker, you're the one out there doing all the work. And as soon as that little leg segment falls off, these little leg segments have all the good goop in them. You know, the Matriarch reactors, which is a very valuable part that you find in different segments of the machine. As soon as you shoot the thing off, you see these little cockroaches run out from nowhere, and they weren't even shooting the damn thing. They're sitting there with a Stitcher, you know, some really cheap ass gun, not doing any damage to it at all. And they run out and they steal all the good stuff off the leg, leaving only the empty shell of your hard work, your expensive ammunition, all that is left behind, and you sadly walk away. And if you're like some people, and you do that, don't expect to not get shot for it. You know, if you go out and loot an item that you didn't work for, you might get shot. You might take a bullet in the back of your head for looting something, because a lot of these guys are pretty possessive of the work they've done. You know, and I ain't gonna lie, myself included. I've been playing the game, you know, and I'll knock a segment off. I'm out there, you know, spending hole cracker ammo. Hole cracker is like it's basically a really expensive grenade launcher in the game. You know, I'll be out there spending thousands of dollars worth of ammunition on this segment of leg, and as soon as the fucking thing falls off, you see these kids, especially on weekends, man, when the kids are out of school. The fucking kids will come running out of nowhere, these little low-level free loadout fuckers, and they will steal all the parts off the leg that you worked so hard for. And if you're like me, you just let them get away. I mean, I've got more than I need in the game. But yeah, you kind of just have to be ready to run out. As soon as you shoot a piece off, you got to be ready to run out into the field, risking life and limb to get your goop, and then get your ass to safety as quickly as possible before you get stomped on. These feet, she will fucking straight stomp on your ass if you're not careful. You're either going to get stomped on, or you're going to get lasered in half or burned. There's so many different ways to die in the game, but it's so fucking fun. It is so fun. By the way, JD, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. Jerry, thank you very much, dude. Enjoy dinner, brother. I'm glad you stopped by, man. As always, a pleasure. I love you, buddy. Tell everybody I said hi. Yeah, have a good one, brother. I'll catch you later, man. But yeah, as Jerry could tell you or agree with me here, the game is just so much fun. Or not Jerry, sorry, JD. The game is so much fun to play. It's so addicting. and I'm having a lot of fun working on something from the game right now. I've actually got another 3D print ready to go that actually already is primered and ready, but for the channel and the hobbyist's sake, I wanted to kind of start fresh today so that people could see the prep work involved in doing something like this. I'm doing very light prep work too. I'm not going all out um, on this model. Like I said, I want it to look a little distressed and beat up. So some of the little irregularities and things that I would normally have a problem with and want to fix, I'm leaving them because they will work with the damage, the appearance of damage in the model. Now this is the rocket launcher hub that's on top of the Matriarch. This thing will straight fucking kill you. So when this thing pops up and starts shooting rockets, if you've been shooting at her, better watch out. It's one of those things that may hit you straight in the face and does some serious damage. JD Miller says, "I didn't get to the stream when it started. Did you print these before it started, or did you print them quickly?" So, no, this was already pre-printed. This particular model took, let's see, I printed these two parts separate, and then I printed all the legs in one session. This session of printing these two parts together took about, I think it was about 5 hours to print the head and the middle of the body. And then it was about another 5 or 6 hours to print all the legs at once. So really not that long. These are printed in what's called SLA, which is stereolithographic printing, which uses a UV light to print each layer. And because you're using light, it goes extremely fast. The printing process is extremely fast compared to what we call FDM printing. F is in Frank, DM printing, which is fixed depositional modeling. And I can show you what one of those printers look. I can show you what both printers look like right now. This is, by the way, this is the base for Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga. This is the big project I'm working on right now. And to give you an idea of scale, that's my hand on it right there. And this is a scene out of Revenge of the Sith. So I can show you guys that later. It's actually got some electronics in there too. So that plays audio from the scene in the movie. It's pretty cool. So I'm actually taking a break from this project right now to work on this Arc Raider stuff. So this is a fixed depositional modeling printer, or FDM printer. This is an Anycubic Cobra 2 Max. So huge build volume. I can literally print. I can print like a kitchen trash can with this thing. And these take a long time to print because it goes layer by layer. This little head moves around and it draws one layer at a time. And sometimes, like, let's say you're printing something that takes up the whole build plate, it could take 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes even, just to print one layer. And then it moves up and prints another layer. It draws, you're extruding this molten plastic out of this head and drawing one layer at a time to where you finally get something like this. This is actually the base for a Hellboy model. I call it the birthday cake because it looks like a birthday cake. But if you look close, you can actually see the individual lines that it drew. It's not as detailed as SLA printing, which is resin. So resin printing is, these are my resin print. I have two resin printers. One is the Anycubic Photon Mono M7 Pro, and then this is the Anycubic Photon M7 Max. So this one has a very large build volume compared to the other one, and that's my hand on the build plate. So I've got that much space to print on, and it prints upside down. So this build plate moves down into this into this vat of resin, and underneath that vat is a UV light array, and that UV light turns on for a couple of seconds and exposes the shapes and the layers and everything to, for each layer it needs to make. And then this build plate moves up, peels that off, and then goes back down into the vat, and the light turns on again and exposes the next layer, and then so on and so forth. So it's going up and down and up and down and up and down, and when it's done, your model is hanging upside down in here with all the supports attached to it. And you get really, really good details, like feathers, really, really high detail, scales. This is Boga right here. She's part of that Star Wars model, you know. And then up here, I've got Ahsoka Tano. She's a finished work from Star Wars. Not safe for work, but this is the Siren by CA3D Studios. And the base lights up. You know who sirens are. Those are the girls that they sing songs to sailors and drive them to their death. They jump overboard and madness. That's what the sirens do. And of course, up here we've got the Juggernaut from Wicked 3D, created by Marvel. And that one was printed and painted by myself. All those models are for sale. And yeah, so back to this guy. So I hope that answers your question there, Mr. Miller. But yeah, these were already printed, and now I'm just doing the what we call post prep work, which is post printing. So after I finish printing it, this is the prep work that I got to do to get it ready for painting. So we're almost done with the post prep work. We're going to touch up the head. You can see these little kind of bumpy texture here. That's created during the printing process, and it's undesirable. We don't really want that. So I'm going to sand this off really quick and smooth it out so that it looks more uniform and nice and even and detailed like this part. You're an OG epic fantasy nerd. Oh, I like you already, man. I think I've read most of the top of the genre series and plenty of sirens, but that was a really cool tour. Thank you. All the tech. Yeah, it's quite a bit of tech. I can give you an overview of the studio here. This is my paint bench. So this is my workstation. I've got my monitor up there for running my Pandora while I'm live streaming. And then I use my iPad to monitor the chat. And then, of course, all my paints, airbrushes, standard paint brushes, airbrush paint. This is the armature one of the armatures I use to film. And then I've got my Dremel tool set up here with my air compressor from my airbrushes. That's my jewelry cleaner to clean airbrush parts. I keep all my spray cans for primer and shit right there. Ooh, there's a tick. This thing will like grab onto your face and fuck you up during the game while you're playing Arc Raiders. They're annoying as hell. And then, of course, I got my printers, and I'll just step back so you can kind of see the whole studio. This takes one half of my garage. Right here is the wash and cure station. So when a print comes off of the build plate, you peel it off, and then inside this tub here is a vat of IPA, or isopropyl alcohol. And you have to use that to rinse off and clean the model. And then it goes into this little tub to dry. And then right here, I've got a UV array. This is a UV light setup, and that cures the model. And then they basically look like this, or like what you've seen. This is the Screaming Hand by Jim Phillips for Santa Cruz Skateboards. I'm I am a retired skateboarder of 30 years. And these are some other models that are ready to paint. This is my photo box where when I finish a model, it goes in there and I take professional photographs of it. And then this is my FDM printing station where I do my FDM printing. And then I've just got some extra paint supplies and electronics and stuff that I keep down there. And my toolboxes and then some art supplies. I've got primers. This is diorama effects, for like doing rocks and stuff like that. Sculpting clay, epoxy sculpting clay, different parts, some inks, more putty, airbrush primers, UV putty, wood stain, and Godzilla. Holy shit, Godzilla! Arr! Godzilla. Got to have a Godzilla in the studio. So yeah, that's the general tour of the studio. I don't typically show my face too much during my or at all, simply because when I sat down to make this channel, I decided that I didn't want to be like some of the other YouTube 3D printers and painters who show their face all the time. And the channel, I don't know. I mean, I love these guys. I'm not naming names, but there's a few of us out there. Some really big guys, some really small guys like myself. Anyways, I didn't want my channel to be about me. I wanted it to be about you guys. I wanted it to be about all of us learning together and enjoying this hobby. I wanted it to be about the subject matter. And the subject matter is what I'm holding in my hand at any given time. And the work I'm doing to get things ready for paint and the painting itself. That's what I wanted the importance of the channel to focus on. Occasionally my ugly mug does slip into the camera view. I'm not shy about what I look like or who I am or anything really. I do allow for some privacies, but for the most part, again, it's all about the subject matter. It's about you guys. I'm here to answer questions. If 3D printing and painting is something that you're interested in, I'm here to teach you. I'm also here to learn from you. I get a lot of really good tips and tricks from other printers and painters and regulars that come onto the channel and hang out with me during my live streams. I get a lot of people who have no idea what the 3D printing world and hobby is all about, and they just stop by to kind of check out what I'm doing and see what it's all about, and maybe it helps them decide whether 3D printing is something for them. There's 3D printing for this kind of stuff where, it's more hobby focused. And then there's 3D printing for practical stuff, like practical things, meaning like, let's say you need something to hold on to your paints that goes on a pegboard. That's what you can do with an FDM printer. Is some guy got on and designed this thing that attaches to their justhangingpaintboards.com. These guys are great. I can print this stuff myself, but I really didn't want to take the time, and I thought it would be nice to support, kind of a small mom and pop company. They 3D print these things, and it works great for going up on my and hold. So there's different reasons and things to do with a 3D printer other than just making models and shit. If you need a utensil organizer for your kitchen, you can 3D print that. That was something crazy I discovered when I first got into 3D printing. Is that like you go to the store to buy something and you're like, wait a minute, you got to pause. Like, wait a minute, can I 3D print that? Yes, I can. For pennies on the dollar, you can just go home and print the fucking thing that's sitting in your drawer that you need to replace. Or you can do this crazy shit and start yourself down a rabbit hole with a hobby like this that you can do for the rest of your life. And at my age, it gives me a tremendous amount of joy and pleasure to sit here in my studio. Originally, I just did this privately for myself. And then some of my friends and family were like, dude, you should start a YouTube channel. Teach people how to do this stuff, or, just show people what you're doing. I decided I wanted to teach people and share the hobby, with other creators and stuff. So that's what I'm doing here. And honestly, it changed my life. I've been an artist and a painter and a sculptor and shit my whole life. And I was kind of stagnant for a good 20 some odd years. I really wasn't doing anything with my art. I was mostly playing music. I play guitar, mandolin, banjo. I play violin really badly. I play piano. I've been in a few bands, and I just kind of stopped doing artwork. And that was really something I really loved doing when I was younger. And 3D printing got me back into my love for art, painting. And I don't really draw or anything anymore. I still don't. I would much rather set up a print in my office and hit that print button and come downstairs to find a cool model ready to go for me to do this stuff with and start painting it. Just really done a lot for me in my life. I'm also on disability now, so if I didn't have all the hobbies and passions that I have in my life, I would be one bored piece of shit that did nothing. It helps my mind. It helps get my mind off the pain that I'm in. It's not so arduous or anything to where it gives me too much pain to work on stuff. I do have to get up and walk around a little bit here and there and stretch because it can start to get my shoulders tired, which is where my injuries are from. I have some surgeries I got to deal with. But for the most part, I can do this. And it keeps me busy. It keeps my head moving and keeps those brain gears turning, And I get some social activity too. I don't really like to go out much, if at all. I'm too old for that shit. But this is a good, healthy way for me to kick back and hang out with some people and just share a cool hobby. It's fun. Oh, you play guitar and piano too. Right on. Very cool. Yeah, that's all it's about, man. It's just, love what you do what you love. You only get one shot at life on this planet. I will say this hobby is not cheap. The initial investment is pretty pricey, but 3D printers are getting very cheap compared to what they were years ago. My big SLA printer was only $900, which has already paid for itself in the models that I've had commissioned. I am a professional, hate to say artist, but I am a professional, and I do get commissions fairly often for models. You'll see there's a Sailor Moon model on my channel here. That was a commission. Several of my models are commissions on there that I've made videos for, and then some of the other commissions I've done I did not make videos for. But the printers have paid for themselves in the sense that I was able to get a few. I was fortunate enough to get a few commissions to where the money was good enough to have paid for the cost of the printer. So that's nice. And then, of course, you know, my wife sees that money come in and she says, well, I can't say anything now. Like, no, you can't. Printer's paid for. Yeah, I did. I did one commission for someone, and that one commission paid for my new printer. So that's all it takes sometimes. Gandalf, okay. Watch the trilogy where the. Oh, I know everybody wishes Gandalf was real. Gandalf or Merlin, you know, wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, I do take commissions. You can always contact me at the 3dpainter at gmail.com. I can leave a link in the description, or you can just drop a message here on YouTube as well. I will say I don't do deadlines. When I do take a commission, it's generally the way I work is half upon order and half upon completion. So we basically discuss price, size, price, preference, things like that. And then we pick out a model that you want a file from, and then we discuss pricing. And then from there, I take half of the amount we agree upon. I take half of that, and I use that money to purchase resin, and that covers my printing time, and it covers the print itself. And then I don't do deadlines, but generally once I take a commission, all other work freezes. Paid commission, all other work freezes. So in other words, like if you commissioned me right now and drop money into my account, this goes bye-bye, and I immediately start working on your job. And I don't work on anything else until that job is finished. And my prices also include shipping. The only thing I don't do is ship out of the United States. Shipping out of the United States, I mean, I would ship out of the United States under very special circumstances, but holy shit, that's expensive. And I can't ship out of the United States with a guarantee that the completed model is going to reach you in an intact manner. Because the Postal Service is fucked up, as we all know. I think this looks good. All right, let's paint some stuff. I think I'm ready to paint. So for this primer work, I am going to be using my Squidmar Ultra with a 4.0 millimeter nozzle and needle. This airbrush is made by Harder and Steenbeck, as you can see here. This is kind of like your beginner level airbrush. I'm not a beginner. But I like to have 3 different airbrushes ready to go at any given time. One has a 4.0 airbrush or needle in it so that I can do primer work and stuff like that. And then I've got my mid-level range, Well, I'm running out of compressed air. That sucks. Um, so the mid level is going to be a 0.28 millimeter nozzle and needle, and then for very fine detail, which is rare that I need that, I have another airbrush setup with a 0.15 millimeter nozzle or and needle, which is teeny tiny. That's almost the size of a human hair. Um, it's a little bit bigger than a human hair, but very very fine line. You're going to use something like that for like eyeballs and shit like that. Um, I do see there are some holes I need to fix here. Maybe. Yeah. So we're going to mix up some putty really quick and fill those holes before I start painting that part of the model. So this is just a two-part epoxy putty called Green Stuff. Goes a long way. I wish I had some UV putty actually, because that would be ideal for sealing up these holes. Well, I can save painting this till later. What's most important is getting these legs done today, but I do want to get this putty in. Now, this putty does get a little sticky, so I like to put a little bit of water on my fingers before I work with it. So you're going to take this hole. And once this stuff completely cures, I can sand it down. And you'll never know that it was there. Because this model was printed hollow, I have to include these little drainage holes, not only to prevent suction from happening during the printing process, but also so that the resin can be drained out of it when it's done. There's always excess resin inside of a hollowed model, and you got to be able to get that stuff out. And that's what the alcohol bath I showed you is for. And right now I'm just covering up these holes because it's part of the model. There's not supposed to be holes there in the Matriarch unless you shot them. This stuff will cure as hard as rock practically, but it sands nicely, so I'll just be able to sand over this really quick to finish it off, and it'll look great. You won't know those holes were ever there. Well, we'll know, but anybody else won't. So, JD, if you don't mind me asking, what brought you to the channel today? And I really appreciate you coming by, dude. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. It does help grow the channel. I hate to do that. I hate to say that shit, but I kind of have to because I do want to grow this channel. Maybe someday I can retire and just do this. That would be nice. I would love to be able to do that. I see guys like Burnt Peanut, you know, who's just ever since Arc Raiders, Peanut's just blown up, and I celebrate that guy, man. Like, how awesome would it be to just get paid to play video games all day? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'd love to be that. I'd love to have that kind of money. Dude's pulling in like probably about 100K a month now playing Arc Raiders. I think today he was actually playing, what is it? Marathon is the new game that came out. So that's pretty cool. I'm, uh, I celebrate you, Peanut. I keep doing what you're doing, buddy. And even some guys in the 3D printing and painting world, like myself, the creative collector, he's doing pretty well for himself. I think he's quit his day job and now he's doing what I'm doing here. Go check his channel out, the creative collector. He does some really, really awesome DC, Marvel, you name it. He's a huge Punisher fan like myself. He's got some great Punisher models out that he's done. And then, of course, Ground Affected. Good old Brent. JD Miller. Oh, it's fucking John. I'm so sorry, John. I didn't put that together, dude. You didn't have to be so anonymous. So John is a guy I met playing Arc Raiders yesterday, and we quickly became friends. And I shared my channel with him, so he's hanging out today and checking out the stream with us. So thank you, John. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel and being here. I celebrate you as well, good sir. Oh, and by the way, I got some goodies for you when we play. If you can play later, I did go on a couple of raids before I started my stream today, and I got some really nice goodies for you. So I think you'll be stoked by that. And I definitely appreciate the interaction and the questions, man. That's awesome. I didn't put it. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, this isn't work, man. This is all pleasure here. But yeah, I didn't put two and two together, even though it was right in front of me. There we go. So now that these holes are stuffed with some putty, I can go ahead and kind of just take a razor blade here and get that trimmed off. I told you, my ADD is, it's something. Sometimes. I have a regular I'm waiting for to pop in. Jen hasn't made it in yet today, has she? Jen, are you in? Nope. Okay, we got 5 people watching though, so guys, please hit that like button. Smash that like button. All right, I think this is good to go. I'm pretty happy with that. This stuff cures really fast, this green stuff. So I think by the time I get these legs done... Actually, you know what? I got a better idea. This is UV resin, and it is cured instantly with a little bit of UV light. And so what I'm going to do is put just a drop. Now that I've got that hole mostly filled up, I'm going to put just a drop on there. This stuff is extremely toxic, so you do not want to touch it with your bare hands. And I'm using that drop just to fill in that gap, and now I'm going to hit it with my UV light. That's it. It's cured. It's cured! Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the studio, man. I am enjoying your company, and thank you greatly for stopping by and hanging out, man. Yeah, this is definitely a new thing for a lot of people. Is the world of 3D printing and painting stuff. I have a lot of people that stop by the channel just to learn about um, not even the 3D printing aspect, but they want to know more about airbrushing or you know, hand brushing techniques, things like that, which I'm always happy to teach everyone as I go along. When I first started the channel, I was doing a lot of produced videos where I, off camera, or I shouldn't say off camera, but I would film separately the process and then I would do a fully produced video at the end of it. And you know, there's a lot of editing and adding music and that whole bit. You can see some of those videos on the, you know, I posted them all on my channel, and it's a lot of work. But I started getting requests for a lot of, you know, from a lot of people that wanted a long form video. They wanted to see the whole process, you know, what it takes. And so I started live streaming. I figured that was the easiest way to do it. Instead of just dumping like a big long, like 4 hour video, I could just live stream and people could watch live. And I've actually fallen in love with doing live streams just for the fact that, like, you get to see me fuck up, you get to see me, you get the whole process. And I think it's a really good way to learn different techniques and also to share um, your own techniques that you've learned in the hobby. You know, I've quite a few subscribers that come in and say, "This is the way I do it," and I'm sometimes just blown away. Like, holy shit, that's a great fucking idea, dude! I got to try that, and then it works, you know. And it's a great forum to have that kind of experience with somebody on the fly, where we're all learning together and enjoying the hobby together. You know, I get to share some of my tips and tricks that I've learned over the, you know, 50 years I've been doing artwork. I, I was doing art the minute I could pick up a crayon. I was drawing dinosaurs, stuff like that. And yeah, it's just a really great forum for learning this way, you know. And nowadays, that's really what I do the most of is live streaming. Because there's a demand for it, and I get a lot more joy out of hanging out with people on the fly and learning this stuff. So I'm just filling the remainder in with this UV resin, and then we're going to set this part aside while I'm primering the legs. And by the time we finish primering the legs, this other resin or this other putty should have cured by then, and sand it down really quick and get this piece primered. Oh, thanks. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, it definitely is more in depth, you know, because I'm explaining to people exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing things along the way. Um, and then, of course, the interaction, you know. I think it's good for people to see, you know, I don't pull this shit off on the first try most of the time, you know, or even just the creative process behind, you know, making a decision on color, you know, how do I want to paint this? What color do I want to paint this? What steps are we going to take to paint this to get it to the point where it looks like the real deal? You know, how are we going to make the matriarch look like she's had the shit beat out of her? Um, you know, things like that. What was I doing? I was looking for another bit. Okay, here we go. I should also say I don't own the rights to any of the music you hear in the background. Um, if you like what you hear, that will pop up in the copyright once the music is published. If you see that it's not allowed in some territories, You can bet your ass that the territory that that song is not allowed to be played in is going to be Belarus, Russia. I don't know why, but those poor people must be miserable because they don't get to listen to any cool music. I've had a lot of instrumental music, even. This one song by Andrew Bird, he's like one of my favorite violin players. Um, it's always banned in Belarus, Russia, and it's an instrumental song. There are no lyrics. It's just him playing the violin. But for some reason, they can't listen to that in Belarus. Pretty sad. Like my friends in China, unless you have a VPN, and I mean a really good virtual private network, um, for the most part, YouTube is illegal in China, along with Facebook and other numerous things. But my friends out there can't watch my channel. It's also like 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow right now in China. So there's that. And some of my UK viewers I have some viewers in Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Italy, all over the place. Those guys are just getting ready for bed out there, or they're laying in bed already. My good friend Gambit Neo, he's got a fantastic 3D printing and painting channel. If you want to check that out, Gambit Neo. He stops in every once in a while. It's always good to have him. Hey, there he is. What's up, buddy? Were you taking a nap? Ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious Murphy Law, otherwise known as Aaron, my dear friend for many years, is in the chat. Feel free to say hi. Glad you made it, dude. Glad to have you. Okay, so now I'm going to set up for some airbrushing here. We're going to do a primer coat in flat black. The difference between there's flat black, or flat in general as far as color, and then there's matte, M-A-T-T-E, matte black, and then of course there's gloss. So gloss is, go figure, it's going to be glossy, it's going to be shiny and wet looking. Matte is kind of like a semi-gloss. Oh, you were rearranging your office still. You got side quested. 30-year-old. Even have my old orders from when I joined the U.S. Air Force. Awesome, dude. Thank you for your service again, brother. That's cool. We've got my friend John Miller, my new friend John Miller, in here watching along with us. So flat black is flat. It basically doesn't really reflect any light, or very little light. Matte black is kind of like a combination of flat and gloss. It's going to give a semi-gloss is a good way to put it. And then, of course, gloss. It's going to be shiny and wet looking. So what we're going to do is, it's going to take a bit of paint to do this. So I'm just kind of estimating here how much paint I might need. It's about 1 ounce of paint. And then I'm going to mix some airbrush medium with that. This is a thinner, or otherwise known as a flow improver. And we're going to put close to an equal amount. A little bit less. And we're going to mix that up. And that's going to thin the paint down and make it flow really nicely and kind of lubricate my airbrush at the same time. Nebuchadnezzar D3D. Or no, not Nebuchadnezzar. I totally read that wrong. Nabucodonosor. Nabucodonosor? D3 dead? Jack! What's up, dude? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got to stop for a minute. Okay, at the very beginning of the channel, or of this live stream, I was talking about this model. I'm so glad you saw my message, Jack. So at the beginning of the live stream today, I was talking about the creator and the page that I got him from, which is included in the description for this live stream, and that's Jack 3D. And Jack is here today with us. So, dude, thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate you. It's really, really rare that any or one of the creators or sculptors that created a file joins in while I'm live streaming. So thank you so much for stopping by. Um, Jack is the guy who created this model of the Matriarch, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is your tick as well, is it not? Is it? I think this is your tick as well. Did you do this one? It's a one piece. I didn't want to misdirect anyone. No, this is not your tick. Okay, your tick is awesome though. Okay, so I accidentally. So ignore the tick. Ignore the tick. But the Matriarch here, this one was designed and sculpted by Jack 3D, who I mentioned earlier on his cults page, which is in the link for his cults page is in the description for this live stream. He does automatons, Star Wars models. His Star Wars stuff is killer, by the way. I love your Star Wars work. Doom. What else did I see? Fallout. He's got some cool Fallout stuff, with which I'm a huge Fallout fan. He's got some Bitch and Dragons, Elden Ring. Sorry, Jack. I apologize. Fuck that tick. I'm gonna toss it now. Yeah, fuck that tick. I was hoping that was your tick, but I couldn't remember who I downloaded it from. But anyways, Jack's in the chat today, so thank you so much for stopping by. I have questions, dude. I'm really stoked you stopped by. So first of all, if I may ask, Jack, what's your background? Oh, you're on, John, or you're off, John? Okay, John, thanks. John Miller, thank you so much for stopping by. I totally appreciate your company, dude, and I will look forward to seeing you on Arc Raiders later. Like I said, I've got some goodies for you. We'll put those up. We're gonna let you put the goodies up your butt, and we'll extract as quickly as possible to get you on your way to having some fun. So thanks, dude. I'll look forward to seeing you later. Back to Jack. So what kind of background do you have in 3D sculpting? Because this, I have to ask, because this is just phenomenal work, dude. I really, really, really like your Matriarch. Which, by the way, I printed all the legs on. I printed the whole model on my Anycubic Photon Mono Max, or yeah, Anycubic Photon M7 Pro Max. I think that's what the whole fucking name is. The legs are all printed solid. This part, the head, was printed hollow. The rocket launcher, hollow. And the central body port, which I just finished fixing the drainage holes, printed that in hollow as well. So what kind of background in 3D printing do you have? What kind of, if you don't mind me asking, kind of turn this into like a little interview. Because you do some absolutely fantastic work, and I really wanted to push your work for some of my other creators out here that follow my channel. So yeah, what's your background? How did you get to sculpting like this, dude? Your work is fantastic. I'm definitely going to be printing more. I actually did download a couple more of your files. I got your wolf pack that you did. I think I downloaded the Bastion. I'll have to check. I don't remember what I download so many damn files. And right now I'm just mixing up some primer. We're going to start primering these legs here. So I just got to get this stirred up. So Jack says, I do not have that much of a background. I started 3D printing in 2019 and started with Blender. Wow, so you've been printing for a while. Okay, that's really cool. Sorry for the noise. My air compressor's going off. In the last 2 years. Okay. That is awesome, dude. I have only been 3D printing for the last 2 years now. Sorry, I just turned on my air compressor. That's the one thing I forgot to do when I was setting up my studio this morning. Wanted to give you a little quick little tour. Okay, there we go. I'm going to give you a quick little tour of the studio here so you can see my operation. And I do have some more questions. So here's my my paint bench. This is where most of the work gets done for, my post-prep work and everything like that. That's just my monitor up there that I use for, like, Pandora when I'm, live streaming. This is the armature for my paint bench, one of my armatures, and that's how I monitor my chat. Here's your model that you designed. Thank you so much. Which, by the way, guys, go to his channel. A lot of his models are open priced. Give the guy some love. I paid a little extra than what he's asking for, which his prices are extremely reasonable. But if you're into any of the things I mentioned above, so this is my airbrush station, and then my 3D printers, wash and cure station down here, airbrush station that doesn't get much use. Some of the other models I've painted and stuff. Got the Juggernaut up there. That's SW 3D Studios Ahsoka Tano, and then the Siren by CA 3D Studios. And this big girl is Boga for Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga by SW 3D Studios. And that's the base for that model right here. This has been the project that I've been working on for a couple of months now. And doing your Matriarch is what I decided to take a break from this thing today. So we're working on your model. So cool. So you didn't go to school or anything to learn 3D modeling? Did you just teach yourself how to do this wizardry? Because, dude, your work is amazing, man. I almost can't believe you're self-taught. You spent the last 2 years improving your skills. You do great work, dude. You really do. And I mean, I buy a lot of 3D models, many of which I've found on Cults, and they're terrible. But you do some fantastic work. By the way, thank you for the correction on the scaling for one of your models. I forget right off the bat which one. It was the wolf pack. I remember I put the wolf pack up. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was your model, but I put the wolf pack up on my slicer, and I couldn't even see it. It was so teeny tiny. It was like a little speck of sand. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. He's self-taught. That's really cool, man. But anyways, yeah, thank you. If that was you, if I got that right, let's put it this way. From this point on, I'm going to make sure that the only Arc Raiders models that I download, print, and paint are going to be yours, because your work is phenomenal. Your files are awesome, and they print fantastic. These are all printed on the first try. I didn't have any misprints, nothing. So yeah, really good work, dude. But yeah, from now on, I will exclusively print and paint your models and support your, I guess, your page. Yeah, I did get the Leaper. I should have brought the leaper downstairs. I've already painted that one. I basically just painted it black and then dry brushed like silver along the edges. I kept it really simple. Um, and I'm still trying to figure out the wiring or how I want to do the LED light on the eyeball. Hey, Gambit Neo is here. Gambit is another fellow creator. He's got a YouTube channel. Dude does some absolutely fantastic uh, 3D printing and painting. So Gambit today in the studio. I don't know if you play Arc Raiders. Um, I've got Jack 3D is in the house. He's the guy who created the fine Matriarch model that I am currently painting right now, and he's kind enough to join us in the studio today to answer some questions and hang out and just chill back. Um, I I was hoping you'd appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I know that if I was creating 3D models, I would totally want to see what people are doing with them, how the model turned out. Like, did you have any problems with the file? Things like that. I've got nothing but good things to say about your page and your 3D models, and I wanted to share that with the community, with my subscribers. And of course, anytime I work on something in my studio or on my channel, I'm always going to give the artist, the sculptor, I'm going to always give them the credit. And, to be fair, I only work on well done models. Who wants to work on a piece of shit file? But you do absolutely fantastic work, dude. I'm really, really impressed with all of your Arc Raiders stuff. I love the game, and I thought it might be fun to print something and paint something from Arc Raiders. And when I looked them up on Colts, your models were some of the first ones I came across, and definitely the highest quality. And so here we are. Gambit, have you played Arc Raiders yet? Yeah, check him out. I don't know if he's on. Are you on Instagram, Jack? So he's on Colts 3D. I left a link for his page in the description, so you can definitely find it there. That's where I downloaded this model from, the Matriarch. He's got automatons. He's got some Star Wars stuff, Doom, Fallout. His dragon designs are really cool. He's got some Elden Ring stuff up there. Definitely check it out, man. Like, if you're into any of that, yeah. And his pricing is super fair, guys. Like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody else, but bro, you could totally charge more for what you're creating. But I also thank you for your price ranges, man. Your pricing is fantastic. He's very fair, and if you feel like giving him a little extra when you purchase a model, please do. I know I did. And I'm going to be downloading a lot more from him pretty soon too. There's quite a few of the Arc Raiders models there that I want to do. I was planning on doing kind of an Arc Raiders theme for Halloween, and the Wolf Pack grenade is one of the ones I want to do life size, because I'm going to be carrying a Wolf Pack on me. So I'll be downloading that one as well. Thinking to stream Resident Evil. Are you? Oh, you're gonna stream the game? Sorry, I'm reading the chat here. Oh, okay. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. Is I thought for a minute, I thought maybe I would stream some Arc Raiders or something, video game streaming, but I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'm gonna keep it straight 3D printing and painting. I don't want to deal with having to buy more gear or any of that stuff. I've got to cover. I've got two holes. I've got two drain holes. I got to cover up back here. So I'm gonna primer this guy later. In the meantime, I'll just keep working on these legs here. Um, no, yeah, no. Of course, too. You don't want to go too high. You want your models to move. You want them to sell. And I certainly hope I can help sell a few of your models. You know, through my channel. I don't want anything. Let me just tell you that right now. I don't want anything. I don't want commissions. I don't want sponsorship or anything like that. I just want you to do good, make some money from your work because your work is great, and I'm super thankful you stopped by the channel, man. I will definitely be buying more from you. That's for sure. 100% support and love from this channel and myself. Not that you were planning on offering me anything, but I just wanted to let you know, dude. Like I don't want anything in return for name dropping or promoting your page or your artwork, man. I just love your work and I want to see you do good, man. That's all I want. Right. Absolutely, dude. Oh, so are you on his page looking at his work, Neo? Yeah, I think his work is fantastic, dude. It's really nice to actually meet one of the creators, especially somebody, yeah, cool. Yeah, especially somebody's work I admire, and I've actually downloaded it and now I'm actively painting it. Probably going to be, this is probably going to be like a 3-part live stream to completion, but I will not be working on Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga until this Matriarch is completed. I think, yeah, it's probably about maybe a 5 or 6 hour job, so 2 or 3 live streams. I'll get it done, and I'm gonna paint it true to the game. So let me think of. So if I may ask, Jack 3D, where are you from? Where were you born? You mind giving us a little history since you're, and as far as I'm concerned, you're a pretty special guest to the channel. So you know, got a, got some questions if you don't mind answering. You don't have to answer, of course. Where were you born? What's your native language? We're hoping your family and loved ones are all doing great. You're Italian. Okay, very cool. And do you currently live in Italy? It's pretty late over there. Wait, sorry, Gambit. What did I miss? My friend. Oh, not in Italy anymore. Okay, that's cool. Italy's on my bucket list. I definitely need to travel there. My wife and I are talking about a European trip eventually. get out of this damn country for a minute. I love my country. I love the United States, but I need a break for a minute, man. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you and Gambit may speak the same languages. Gambit Neo is also one of my European subscribers, and I'm also a fellow subscriber of Gambit Neo's page. The guy does some great work, fantastic work. No, I certainly would not understand. My second language is Mandarin. I lived in China for a year and picked up Mandarin rather quickly. I'm not totally fluent, but I can get by. And I guess my third language would be Arabic and Spanish. I do speak some Arabic and a bit of Spanish. That's right, yeah. Gambit's Hungarian. I always forget you're in Ireland now. That is cool. You Gambit, I don't know if you heard when I was talking about his models. By the way, I just have to say that um, his files are really nice, man. I haven't had a single problem printing any of his work yet. The files come out clean. Um, I supported them myself. I don't know if he's doing pre-supports or not. He can let you know in the chat. Um, but the models come out clean. I didn't have a single misprint. Everything turned out great. So just to let you know, I highly recommend. Give this a little blow dry here so I can flip it over. Mandarin, Mandarin's a cool language. I tend to have a knack with language, I think, because I'm a musician. I play by ear and I pick up sound really easily. It's not a brag. I'm not boasting or anything like that. It's just who I am and part of what I do. But yeah, I know a lot of people who really had a difficult time grasping the language, where I haven't had a problem at all. Um, I started few months ago, I started on an app program called Duolingo, and I've been using that to brush up on my Mandarin, and it's been really, really helpful. So I would recommend that app if you want to learn or get started to learn. The one thing I didn't realize was that the app also teaches you how to write. So now I'm learning how to write in Mandarin as well. So that's pretty cool. Write and read in Mandarin, I should say, which is a bonus about that app. That looks pretty solid. No pre-supports at the moment. Yeah, I most of the time I prefer to support my own models as well. Um, it depends on the company or the creator though. Like there's some guys out there that their pre-supports are just phenomenal. And when I just want to get something done, I don't want to fuck around too much. It's nice to have a pre-supported file that you can just throw down on your slicer real quick and get moving on. I really like that. But most of the time, I'm going to support my own stuff. That's looking pretty good. A few of these legs, I think. That looks good. It's good. I'm gonna have to mix up some more paint. Yeah, most printers I know prefer to do their own supports as well. I'm one of them. Just because I've had so many misprints go bad. I've had a lot of prints go bad and misprint with others pre-supported files. I like to support my own so that I can mainly so I can determine the in-depth portion of the model. You know how deep it goes into the model uh, with the support. I find a lot of those go too deep, and the scarring left behind is pretty bad. So I just prefer to do my own settings for that reason. I agree with you though, Gambit. It's definitely better to support your own if you can. I think pre-supports are really nice for people that are just learning to print and they want to get moving on something. Yeah, you can't guarantee that they're going to work for everyone, and I think that's wise. I think it really is. Let's see if I could just drop a little bit of resin in here and get that to fill in. Wait, is this the top or the bottom? I can't remember. Yeah, you can help me out with this since I have you here, Jack. Does this, is it supposed to sit like this in the model? Do I have that orientation correct? Just like that, okay. Because I noticed you had these little divots in there. I hope those are showing up. You had these little divots, and I noticed that the divots matched on this side as well, and I thought maybe you'd be able to turn it, but obviously they don't match up. And then I saw that it just kind of sat like that, which was fine. So this orientation is correct. All right, so I definitely want to make sure I cover up these holes then. That's nice having the person who created the file in here to tell me exactly how it's oriented. That's cool. So I'm going to see if I can get just a little bit of resin in here to sit well enough to cover up that hole, and then I can just sand it. That'll work. That's a good point. Some people are going to print in FDM, which, I would find unfortunate because your models are such good quality. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, man. You really do great work. But printing in FDM, you're just not going to get the same quality and detail. Hey, Jen's in the room. We have a special guest today. Jen, it's pretty cool. So I downloaded these files for the Matriarch and some of this other stuff from Arc Raiders on the link is in the description. It's a page on cults called Jack 3D. And this guy's designed some really, really cool Arc Raiders. This is Arc Raiders. This is called the Matriarch from Arc Raiders. You can see the picture of her in the at the beginning of the stream. The stream shot, whatever you call it. And I downloaded this file and several others. His Leaper, which is one of the other machines in the game. Anyhow, he's in the chat today. I left him a message letting him know that I would be working on his Matriarch today, and if he'd like to stop by, to please do. And he made it into the chat, so we're welcoming Jack 3D today. He's got some stuff I think you would like too. He's got work done for automatons. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. He's got some Star Wars stuff that you won't find on SW3D Studios or other things. His designs are really nice. I had 0 issues. These all came out perfect on first try printing. So his files are really nice. He's got stuff by Doom, Fallout. He's got some really cool dragons on his page. Elden Ring, some cool fantasy stuff. But yeah, check out the link on the description and check out his site. I know you don't have a 3D printer, but you've got me. So if you want or need me to print anything for you off of his site, let me know, and I can arrange that for you. But definitely show the guy some love. His files are extremely well priced and fair. Not worried about that hole because we won't be able to see it. There, that finished out nice. Got those holes covered up. I need to double check this hole back here. Yeah, I got to cover that one up as well. Yeah, take a look. I know you're thinking about possibly having me do some printing for you soon, and he might have something that you want me to include with that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just basically taking a little bit of printer resin and using surface tension to fill up that hole, and then immediately, some of you guys have seen me do this before on my channel, and just immediately hitting it with that UV light to cover up that hole. And for holes that are, I think these were, yeah, these are 3 millimeter drainage holes. That method works great. You know, you're just using surface tension to your advantage to get that covered up, and then you can just sand it down really, really quick and easy. Good enough. All right. Sorry about the camera shake there. But yeah, as Jen knows, we were discussing the other day about, stepping away and taking a break from, certain projects. In my case, Obi-Wan Kenobi rides Boga. It's been a very time consuming and arduous project, and I wanted to do something a little different and fun while I stepped away for a minute, and I decided to do something from Arc Raiders because that's what I've been playing lately. And I found Jack 3D on Colts and decided to try out a couple of his models. The Leaper turned out really well, and now I'm working on the Matriarch. That printed out really nice, and I'm definitely going to be doing some more, so we can look forward to seeing those. And yeah, Jack, I really appreciate you stopping by today and hanging out with us and watching me work on your model, man. That does have to feel pretty cool. It's got to be a good feeling, to see somebody working on something you obviously worked so hard on, uh, to create this file. And it's really, it's gotta be, I am no 3D sculptor. I don't know. I've done some very, very, very minor sculpting stuff. Like I could make a box. I could probably make a file of a box. That's about the extent of my 3D sculpting ability. And I don't ever have any intentions of really learning how to do it. And I always admire um, not only the work that people do in that field, but um, just what goes into learning how to do it. I've seen streams where, when I was really curious about learning how to 3D model, I've watched guys do it live, and it's insane. It is fucking crazy watching what some of you guys do to get this to happen. Like it blows me away that you're looking at a screen on your computer and you're moving all these virtual tools around, and then you can make a file that I can download and print in 3 dimensions your design. I just think that's really fucking cool. It's a really neat thing. And yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us, man. It's a first for the channel. I've not been able to get anybody from Wicked or any of the other companies. Granted, those guys are really big, but as far as I'm concerned, you're just as big as anything Wicked does, man. This is really cool stuff, and I really appreciate your time coming by to hang out with us on the channel. It's very, very, I am honored, so thank you, and I plan on doing more. So yeah, guys, check out Jack 3D on Colts. I'm gonna give him another shameless plug there. Um, check out his files and show him some love and download some of his files and get your printers fired up. Guy does some great work, and I'm grateful for Jack 3D stopping by today, man. Thank you. And folks, if you're watching this now or you're watching it later and you haven't done it yet, please leave a like for the channel. Leave a like for Jack 3D. I don't care what you leave a like for, just please leave a like. Highly appreciate it. I know Gambit already probably has, along with Jen. Love you guys, and I thank you. You're welcome, Jack. Thank you, dude. Thank you for doing what you do and making awesome files for us to play with and and build and all of that. Another question I have is, do you have any plans of doing like more articulated models that could move around? Have you considered doing like a matriarch that's articulated or anything like that? Okay, cool. I'd love to see that, dude. Yeah, and, if you want to keep in touch, please do, man. Anytime you do new stuff, I'm happy to promote it and point people in your direction. Helldiver Cyborg. Oh, oh, that sounds super cool. Helldivers, uh, man, that that's a great subject topic to work with, man. There's a lot you can do there. That's really cool. I'll be excited to see that. Yeah, I saw. Oh, you do. I may have missed that. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back when I finish my live stream today. I'm gonna have to go back and look at some more of your stuff. I kind of just gleaned over a few things today before I started my live stream, so that I wasn't really talking out of my ass and like, like it, hey guys, he doesn't just do arc raiders. He's got some other really cool stuff out there. That's what's. Oh, it's already 4 o'clock, man. I don't know if I'm gonna get to color today. Might have, probably gonna be best if I just let this primer dry overnight, anyways, and carry on with color on the next live stream. I'm gonna try to live stream tomorrow, but I'm not sure what my wife has planned for the afternoon, so I may be busy, and I do have a couple of medical appointments to attend to. But I'll keep you posted anytime I'm going to go live and work on this. And feel free, Jack. Feel free to share the channel or the live stream if you want with anybody else. Love to have more company. Love to show people your work, man. Change the light here a little bit. There we go. Hope you guys can see that better now. Looks good. All right, last leg. Last leg of today's journey. I'm already seeing some more supports that I got to get moved out of the way here that I missed. I'll tell you what, man, finding the best orientation for these legs wasn't very difficult because the way you laid them out in the file kind of already provided that, which was really nice. You know, I put them on the build plate and I was like, wait a minute, that's actually going to work perfect right there. Was that something you thought of when you were creating the file? Was like, I'm going to, oh, where am I from? I'm from the West Coast of the United States. I am in Southern California. I'm about an hour north of Los Angeles, California. Small town. I live about 5 minutes from the Pacific Ocean. I basically live in what some people might consider to be paradise. It's we're pretty spoiled here, man. If I may ask, where are you currently living? There, Jack. What country or? That's the way they wrote. Okay, well, wow, that's a happy accident, man. Because I really didn't have to change the orientation much from the program. I did have to do some bending, like, obviously I want this to be that's the part you're going to see when you're looking at the model. You're not going to see this too much. So these were oriented this way, so that the supports came up from the bottom. I used light support structure. I used automatic supports. The only thing I changed was slightly changed the orientation and then in depth of model for the support, meaning like how far the tip of the support actually embedded into the model, so that they were really easy to remove. And again, I had 0 misprints. They all came out perfect on the first try. Supports came off really easy, and they look fantastic. You're Albania. Okay. That's cool. Well, welcome, Albania. Welcome, Jack 3D in Albania. Think I mixed up exactly enough paint to get these legs done today. I love the detail in like the way he did the pistons and everything and the hydraulics on it's just so cool. Like that cannot have been easy to get all that detail. So the resin I'm using is Anycubic standard gray resin, and it is not water washable. It is IPA washing. You got to wash it in an IPA bath. I've thought about trying some of the water washable stuff, but for now, I'm very happy with the system I have and the setup I have, and I'm not really hard pressed to use water washable stuff. I have a full ventilation system set up in my garage studio here. So it's very well ventilated, and I don't have a problem with fumes or anything like that. So I'm okay with using what I'm using, but I'm definitely curious to try water washable resin eventually. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. You hate it. That's good to know, Gambit, because I love hearing from other people. Like, is it worth my time? Like, is it a waste of time? Like, what is it that you hated about it? Just out of curiosity. Let's get all these legs up here to get some drying done on them and check them over. I already see a little spot I need to touch up here. I don't have any way to hang these guys up right now. Just be really gentle setting them down. Had some bad prints. Okay. Oh, they cracked after a while. Yeah, that's something common that I've heard. That's a common complaint that I've heard about the water washable resins is the cracking. You definitely don't want that, especially if you're doing like if you're like me and you're doing commissions from time to time and shit. You don't want anything cracking on you. No. Cool. Yeah, these are looking pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. So what else have we got in the chat? That's very possible, Jen. I actually thought about that. I was going to say something. So our friend Jen here had some model issues with what was that? Kylo? Was that Kylo Ren? A Kylo? It was a Star Wars model that she had purchased from someone, and oh no, it was Star Killer. It was Star Killer, and yeah, it had some pretty gnarly cracking. I thought of a few things that it could have been, but now that you bring up water washable resin, yeah, Star Killer. Any cubic ABS resin, okay. How does the price compare with their standard? Because I use the Anycubic standard gray, obviously, feel like I want to put the Matriarch's head front and center here. Move these body parts back a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go kill this thing a few times tonight. I'm assuming Jack 3D. I'm assuming you're are you an Arc Raiders fan like myself? Like you play the game, and if you do, are you more PvP or PvE player? Oh, it's only a couple cents difference. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because I like the idea of printing an ABS like resin. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little apprehensive about it just because I'm so used to the standard gray already. I know how it works. I know how it feels in my printer. Depends on the mood. Okay. Oh, depends on your mood whether or not you're PvP or PvE. Gotcha. I'm generally always a PvE player, but if I've had a few instances where I've gotten just severely ratted on for no reason at all, and I get into what I call my Call of Duty mode, and it's a brain mindset in me where once I'm in Call of Duty mode, I'm raging. I'm going into a match and I'm going to it's KOS the second I load in. You know, I'm killing on sight anybody I see just to get it out of my system. But again, that's really rare for me. I'm typically I typically very God, I think I've only gotten into a KOS mode like maybe 2 or 3 times in the almost 400 hours I have on this fucking video game. A ridiculous amount of playtime that I have on that game. I have more revives than I have kills on my player character. If that tells you how nice of a PvE player I am. One of my subscribers slash friends that was in earlier, JD Miller, I just met him yesterday on playing Arc Raiders, and we hit it off right off the bat. And you know, I've been helping him, you know, upgrade his workbenches and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I love the game for, is for you know, that kind of camaraderie, you know, friendship that you can build with someone almost instantly, you know, playing the game. It's really cool. I really like what Embark has done with it. Play more Helldivers lately. Okay. I I got to be honest. I haven't checked out Helldivers. I've never played it. I'm gonna have to. I'll have to look into it, man. It sounds like, from the looks of it, you know, the characters and the designs and everything in the game look really cool. It totally looks like something I would be into. So I'll have to check that out. My my player name. I don't I don't know my player name on. Well, I'm on Xbox Series X. Um, are you PC or are you console? Oh, it's full PVE game. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I prefer PVE. It just I don't like running around killing people, especially on Arc Raiders. You know, like there's no reward for killing anyone. There really isn't, and I like that. I like that Embark did it that way. I still don't understand why people rat people, other than like just to steal your loot and stuff. But I don't know, when people rat other people in that game, it just makes me feel like, okay, you suck so bad at this game that you have to sneak up and kill other people to steal their loot. Like, you should just go play Call of Duty. That's how I feel about it. Exactly. The only thing you get is their loot. There's no reward system. There's nothing. You don't get any. You don't get a stat increase. There's no bragging rights. You don't get put on a leaderboard for the most kills or any shit. Like there's no reward at all. Yeah, honestly, I feel like people that go out and rat other people all the time, they're just pieces of shit. They're probably pieces of shit in real life. That's how I feel about it personally. Especially the way some of the other players like treat people, when they kill them and stuff. It's just it's lame. You work so hard and you grind all the time finding these blueprints, and some asshole comes and kills you for it. Hopefully you got it in a safe pocket and you get out with it. So I'm just breaking my airbrush down real quick because it's the end of an airbrush session, and I like to go through and make sure everything's nice and clean and sparkly. Oops. I'm a good enough player, from Fallout, GTA 5 especially, um, to where if I wanted to be a rat, and when I do get forced to PvE people or people, when I am forced to have to fight someone, a lot of times it doesn't go very well for the person trying to PvP me. Um, the only guys that end up killing me are people that shoot me in the back when I'm not expecting it, and by the time I've turned around to even take aim at the person, they've already put 50 rounds in my ass, and I'm not getting out alive. You know. Um, but if I see you coming and you're gonna try and PvP me, chances are it's not going to go too well for you, because I have been gaming for many years. I got that GTA 5 experience, man. If you know how to PvP in that game, you're probably pretty dangerous. That Fallout, Halo, not Halo so much. That's first person. GTA 5 probably has the closest thing PvP wise to anything Arc Raiders is doing. It's very similar feeling in gameplay. But yeah, I was curious as to what inspired you, Jack 3D, to make these Arc Raider models that he did such a fantastic job on, man. Aaron, were you here for that? Who's in the chat with us today, right? Well, in case you didn't know, um, Jack 3D is the guy who designed the Matriarch here for Arc Raiders, and he's in the chat today. He's the creator of this model. He's the guy who digitally sculpted it, did an absolutely fantastic job. So I want to give him all the love and support from the channel that we can. Um, if you guys are into Arc Raiders or Doom, Star Wars, Fallout, if you like dragons, Elden Ring, Hell Divers, this guy does some amazing design work, and I highly suggest checking out his page on Cults. And you can find the link in the description for this live stream for his page on Cults. If you got a 3D printer and you want to print some cool shit, go check out his Cults page and show the guy some love and support by purchasing some of his files and get those printers fired up, man. He does some great work, and I'm having a blast painting this Matriarch. I'm doing this for myself. I'm gonna try and live stream again tomorrow, and I'm also considering lighting up the eye, as it were. But I have some trickery that I need to work out in how to do that. I do have some LED noodles that are just small enough to fit in here. But the problem I'm going to have is figuring out a battery compartment, which I may be able to create here. I'm still working it out in my brain, but I really think it'd be cool to have the central eye lit up. Let's see. I'm going to catch up with the chat here. Aaron says, "Yeah, I was talking to you, Aaron. If you were here early in the game or early in the live stream when I was introducing Jack 3D, you liked the style of them and wanted to make them. Yeah, their designs that they came up with for the Arcus, they're really cool. Like it's fun." And I really like your interpretations too, dude. Like, I've gone back and forth looking at images from the game and your design, and dude, you just really did a bang up job getting all the details right and stuff, man. I'm very impressed. Like, I really do enjoy the work you did, and I can't recommend it enough, man. Like, you did a great job. You just did a great job, dude. Where did my nozzle go? There it is. Oh, let me catch up with the chat again. Sorry, guys. You like this time? Okay. And obviously, since this is a work as well, I knew people were going to buy them a lot. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, being that it's such a popular game, that a lot of people would be interested in buying the file. I mean, that's certainly what drew me into even bothering looking up Arc Raiders on Cults, you know, to see if I could find a file that I would want to make. I'm still embarrassed about the tick, though. I'm sorry I didn't download yours. I'm gonna correct that as soon as I'm done with this live stream today. I'm gonna go buy your tick model, and there. That's what we're gonna do with this tick. Battle damage tick. Don't buy ticks of any other name. I really didn't like the way that one turned out anyways. The legs. And I'm not knocking the creator who made this. This is actually my fault. It's actually a decent model, but there was some misprinting in the legs. Some pretty, like this one in particular, a lot of warpage in the leg. It just didn't turn out right. And I also didn't really care for the texture that he put. I don't know if you can see that. There's some weird texturing on the model itself. I don't know why he did that, but it just didn't really work for me. So I'm going to check out your tick tonight and do something. But I definitely want to make it life size. I want it to be the same size as something that would stick on your head. Because when I do my Arc Raiders Halloween shit, I want to have one of these attached to like the side of my face or something. Yeah, that's why I did this one. And I'm kind of sad I didn't realize that it wasn't the same. It wasn't made. I didn't realize that I was downloading something that wasn't made by the same guy. So I apologize for that. Gotta break the rest of these legs off to make it fit in the trash can. There we go. Yeah, once I got that tick primered, I was like, I don't really like the way it looks. I didn't feel like it was going to translate very well. Oh, you think it was made with AI? I didn't even think about that. That's a thing. You can make. Oh yeah, I guess you can. You could just do a 3D model using AI. I didn't think about that. Oh, you haven't done a tick yet. Well, what the fuck, man? Get on it. Well, let me know as soon as you do a tick because I will be the first one to download it and print it out. I'd love to see it. I mean, you did such a great job on the Matriarch. I think you've got what Bastion, and you've got what else did you have? Did you do the Bombardier? And I think you did the Wolf Pack too, right? That was your Wolf Pack. I mentioned the file was too small, and then you rescaled it for me. You actually sent a message back to me saying that you'd rescaled it. I want to make sure I got the right person, you know. I know I got the Matriarch right. Squidmar. Either way, I like your models better, especially if he's using AI to design a 3D model or a 3D file. I really don't want it. I mean, that tells me right off the bat why I had issues with it. The Wolf Pack is that grenade that splits off into like 20 different little pieces and blows everything up. It's a really overpowered grenade in the game. I got about 5 minutes here, everyone. Just to let you know. I'm going to bring up Colts right now. Oh, wait, I don't know if I can. No, I wish I could, Jen. My wife's coming home soon. Oh, Jesus. Okay. They're from two different people. Now I feel bad. Okay. Now I'm going to go onto your site. Yeah, the Wolf Pack is good. I thought that was you. Sometimes I just look at the picture and I go and download. I got to be more careful about that and make sure I'm downloading from the person I want to download from. You think the tick is fully AI? Now that you bring that up, I'd have to agree. You're probably right, man. So I'm gonna have to look more closely, specifically at your page, better than I did with your Arc Raiders models. Okay, so everyone in the class, why don't you share with us the different Arc Raiders models that you have done that are available on your cult's page? If you want to share with the chat, you can go ahead and list them real quick if you want, because and list them for me too, because I'm definitely going to go in and make sure that I'm looking at the right model and the right page, and I'm going to download them from you. And yeah, Jen, I apologize. I had about 2.5 hours to stream today before my wife came home. We got some stuff we got to go do as soon as she gets home from work, which is going to be in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, your models. I'm just going to refer to you as Jack, if that's okay, because I only know Jack 3D. If you want to share with the chat on the channel here what models by Arc Raiders you have done so far, and what's available on your cults page that we can go and download. Because I'll be definitely downloading some more models today. Okay, this is the collection. While you're listing them, I'm just going to fill in a couple more drainage holes.
Sleepers down the grave. Oh, heaven stay. How you know up and away.
So you're either still typing or you're saying this is the collection, like this is the only model in the collection of Arc Raiders stuff. Oh, here you go. Okay. So you're still typing. Okay, so you've done the Matriarch. Oh, the Queen looks awesome, by the way. I know I was looking at your Queen. Bombardier, Wasp, Hornet, Bastion, Rocketeer, Leaper, and Articulated Leaper. Okay, I did download your Leaper, but not the articulated one. I'm gonna have to check out the articulated one. Did I download your Rocketeer? Because I did download a Rocketeer. I hope it was yours. That was your first articulated model. Okay. Very cool. So, folks, he's got an articulated leaper that you can print too. I have not personally checked that one out, or if I have checked it out, I didn't download it yet, and I should, because I really would like an articulated leaper. And I've also had a couple of requests for leapers too. Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna have to be more careful when I purchase on cults, because sometimes I just look at something and I'm like, that's cool, then I download it. Well, you can count on a couple more purchases from me tonight. I definitely want to do some more stuff of yours. Oh, like the comet and the with the firefly. I didn't really care too much for the design on the firefly. I thought it was a little funky looking, but it is cool. Those things are assholes too. Serious little assholes. I just I find myself bringing like 10 to 15 seeker grenades with me on every raid now because I just can't be fucked to try and shoot those things down. And usually they come at you when you're running from something already. So I just start spamming seeker grenades up into the air and just clear the sky with those things. Or shit, I'll even throw a wolf pack up. Just like get rid of everything really quick. Okay, I got another drain hole here I gotta grab. I definitely look forward to seeing more Arc from you, bro. And checking out more of your work more closely, too. Looks good. So my thoughts is I would cut the bottom off here, possibly, and just cut this ridge off, and that's going to be where I can insert the battery pack for it. And then I have a cutter blade like this, and I would just cut open slit right here in the eye, and then put a UV, or not a UV, an LED noodle back here, so that just the eye lights up. That's my thought on it. I think it would look really cool. Just a little sliver of red light popping through there. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do it yet or not, but there might even be something for you to consider in a future model, or if you update the Matriarch at all, maybe leave a compartment to slide a battery pack into somehow, like back here. You know, like if you could pull this out and it had a battery sitting in it. Kind of need a way to like access this whole area, I'm thinking, though, to get my hand in there and actually put the LED noodle on the side. So I may do more cutting around it. I don't know. I've still got room to play. I already have the LED noodles, and I have the electronics I would need to do it. It's just the logistical part of getting into it and being able to hide that work. You know, once it's done, it's got to all get sealed up. Because I like stuff hidden. Yeah, yeah. You're the eye cut. That's the one I downloaded. And oh shit. Oh, I just punched through that hole. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I really like that one. That's the one I downloaded. But I haven't sorted out how to light it yet, or how I want to light it. That's good enough. All right, that's ready for paint. Well, cool. We made some great progress today. I'm pleased. I got all the prep work done on the legs. We got those all primered, so these are ready for some paint. And now I get to think about what kind of paint, what color I want to use. I want to stay true to the video game concept, so it's going to be like a dark gray with some brighter silver elements in like the hydraulics and the joints and stuff like that. I already see some dry brushing that I'm going to be using to do some edge highlighting to bring up these details, and then some weathering. Obviously, we want this matriarch to look like she's been in battle. I want to do mine to where she's been in battle. Um, so I'm going to use some of these layer shifts to my advantage with some of that weathering, and then we can start getting her put together after get all that taken care of. Some really nice details in the legs too, where the feet are. I'll have some aluminum or some metal elements in there that'll look pretty bitchin'. It's gonna be fun. Oh, you didn't hear back from him? Oh, okay. Well, I think it turned out cool. Is that resin? Yeah, it was. I'm gonna clean that off. Yeah, it would be cool. Oh, it will be cool. This model, yeah, I think it's going to turn out great. I'm really looking forward to getting it finished up. And when you get some other models done, I definitely look forward to playing with those as well. But yeah, what an absolutely fantastic job you did with this thing, man. I can't thank you enough for the work you do, and the pleasure it's giving me to prep and paint it here on the channel. It's a lot of fun. Looking forward to more, and I also can't thank you enough for your time today, Jack 3D. Jack 3D in the house, everyone. Check out his his page on Cults 3D. The link for his Cults page is in the description. I highly suggest checking out his models. And if you don't have a 3D printer, my services are open. If you're in the United States, I can print and ship for you, but you must purchase the file from his page. So what the way it works is like you purchase the file from his page, and then I will print the file for you and paint it, ship it for you. But I take no money for this design. That all goes to Jack 3D, and that's how it works. I never resell files ever. I do not share files. You have to, even if I already own the file, you got to go buy the file still. This guy, he deserves to be supported for his artwork. I always support the artists. So that's how that works. And you guys can always drop me an email or leave a comment in the chat, and we can discuss pricing and stuff like that. But by all means, absolutely support the artist, the guy that sculpted this over at Jack 3D on Cults. He's got automatons, Star Wars designs, Fallout, Doom, Elden Ring, Helldivers, bunch of really cool stuff. So please check out his page. And other than that, I got to thank you guys for stopping in today. Jack 3D, Jen, Jerry Rojas, who else? JD Miller. Thank you guys for all stopping in. Thanks everybody else. Don't forget to hit that like button. I wish everybody to have a nice day, and happy 3D printing, happy painting, and toodles you all. Much love to you and yours, and I will see you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Talk to you soon. Toodles.